Well guys, welcome back, man. It is a beautiful day today, and as you can see, we're getting into something new. So a while back, man, we finished off the top end kit on the 93 KX 125, and I had it up for sale, man, right? And the gentleman was gonna buy it, so I started talking to him. And if you go back in some of my videos, I showed y'all that little 50cc supermoto that I built a while back. Well, he bought that for his son, grandson, and his son-in-law needed a bike to ride with his grandson. So I thought to myself, this bike's probably not gonna be the one you need, right? This is a race bike. We all know that. We all love the KX 125. But I had that little CRF 110. So I ended up selling him that bike versus this bike. And along with that, after getting it all dialed in, it still smoked a lot. So with that, man, I want to go over a couple of things. I've had a couple of comments which I 100% agree with, and that's kind of some of the reason why we're out here today. So one of the comments is that the oil seal on the right hand side of the bike is leaking past, and that's why it burns oil. And I firmly believe that that is a true statement. And I'm not really sure about the stator side or the left hand side of the bike, because I don't see any oil coming out of that cover. Now I bought a seal kit. Let's go over this real quick. So I bought a seal kit and a gasket kit, a Vertex, right? That was 60, 70 bucks, something like that. And then I got exhaust hangers, right? Because I needed my exhaust hangers. Need one here, and then the one that I had here was gone or broken. And so I don't believe that I have a blown head gasket, or even the fact that maybe the water pump may be leaking past into my, or the oil coming past, the water getting into the crankcase, however you want to say it. But I'm gonna go ahead and replace these while we're in here today. And then another thing is I want to try to get this a little straighter. And then I also bought some repacking for the silencer. We're gonna go ahead and repack the silencer. I just feel like it's something we need to do, and if I'm gonna resell this bike, then it needs to be in best shape as possible. Another thing is I picked up a tire. It's a used tire, but I got a good tire here. It was the same one that came off of it. Look, here's the old one right here. Right, this is the one that came off of it right here. Had some big cracks in the side of it right here, right here, right here. So we went ahead and I found one on the marketplace, and well, I picked it up, put it in there, new tube, perfect. So with all of that, dude, the intro's out of the way now. We are getting into crankcase oil seal, or crank seal, gasket for the clutch cover. We're gonna look at the clutches. So if you notice this right here, see how it hangs up, right? And then it frees up. So I also want to look at that while we're in there. And then once I get this off, I'm going to show you something. And it is a bolt that is stripped out, and it was stripped out when I did the top end, but I have a set. So I want to do all the seals. I want to start the bike up, let it run, let it warm up, let this piece warm up in here, and see if we cannot get that screw out of there. I need to replace that O-ring because it's also leaking past. So like I was starting to say, now that the intro's out of the way, we're going to carry on. We're gonna get the oil drained out of this bike, get ready to take this cover off, get this pipe off, get this silencer off. Let's get this party started, gentlemen. It's a beautiful day, and we got some things to do. Here's a quick shot of the oil to come out. The oil looks good, and you know, I just put it in there, but I was looking at this here, right? And it's not gritty. Right, it doesn't feel like shaving. There's no big chunks. That's a good thing too. So we're gonna finish letting this drain, and then we're gonna start ripping off. We got to get plastics out of the way, gas tank, we'll get into the half of the engine. We're gonna get this party started. All right, man. So it doesn't take very long to what I would consider undressing the bike, getting all the plastics off of it. If you need to get your brake lever off, if you're gonna do it like that to get up in here to these bolts here, you might have to unscrew this. I didn't have to cut the zip ties, but I did have to unscrew it so this would come out far enough for this right here to slide over that pin. Now I already broke my lower radiator hoses loose, and I mean this thing is filthy. But anywho, the purpose of this clip right here is, you see this right here, so this was like this whenever I did the top end, right? And I was thinking maybe I could get away with not having to deal with it, but turns out I ain't gonna be able to. It's leaking back behind this O-ring. So what I want to do, like I was saying earlier in the videos, we're gonna change everything in here, get this sealed up, and then we're gonna fire the bike up, right? I'm just gonna put the pipe on it, and then we're gonna fire the bike up. I'm gonna warm it up, and then I'm gonna shut it off, get the pipe off, and then hopefully while this is warm, I can get this out with an ease out. So I still gotta get the Kickstarter lever off, the clutch cable off, and then we're just gonna take everything off together, man, all the 8s. So let's get this clutch cable out of the way so we can get this all the way off. You may have to go up to the top up there and adjust it at your handle or your lever to get enough out of it, maybe not. I usually just try to do it like this and see if it's enough. Perfect. This here literally just pushes out and then out like so. Make sure to put this back on there. You don't want to lose it. Now this is free. Perfect. This nut right here was a 12 millimeter. And now look at it. There we go. We also have, I believe it's a 12 right here. It might be a 10. It is a 10. I mean, if you have to, which normally I do, take me a rag, clean this off real good, because you want your orientation the same way. At least I would think you would. Especially if it's factory, like I believe this is. Get you a marker. That's not working so well. See if we can't clean that off a little better. Get that off of there. That'll do right there. Then you can slide that off. I believe this seal also came with that kit. We're gonna get into changing that. Whatever seal came with it, we're gonna change it. That still works good. Listen, that's a good thing. Now, I believe we can start ripping our 8mm out of here. I do like to break them loose first with a ratchet. It kind of makes me nervous, to be honest. Like just that sudden hammering. All right, so let's take this off first. Seeing as I have a gasket for that also. Might get a little bit of oil out of here. One thing I like to do is compare the length of the bolts when I'm taking them out. Make sure they're the same size so I don't have to worry about orientation. So far, they're all the same. Let me grab my general persuasion. Looks like a lot of clutch material, possibly. The clutch doesn't look too terribly bad. We don't want to lose that. We're going to leave it right there for now. Which, if you watch my KX60 videos, this thing is a pain to deal with. And then that's also going to set. That sets in here, right? And that's what pushes it like that. Your spring catches. I'm hoping that that seal or whatever that is, O-ring or whatever, I hope that came with it also. All right. I believe we're definitely getting close. I think I'm gonna jump into taking this water pump off. Seeing as I have the gasket and I want to replace it, I might as well take this cover off. Before we get that out of hand. Right, we can use that bike to hold this because I'm sure this gasket came also. So let's go ahead and break them loose, make it a little easier to get them off once we get this off and in hand. Okay. Before we get carried away, let me put these bolts where they belong. This here, you got to remember, some of these are going to be different sizes. Which is going to be an important thing for you to remember. A little gentle persuasion. Oh, we're gonna get a little bit of antifreeze off of that. Wow, that looks super clean in there. Except for right there, that looks super terrible. You could tell this bike's been leaking some oil pretty bad. That's not just dirt and grime. That looks good. This here, the impeller is an 8. And I'm not sure if that's a left-handed thread or not. That wasn't very tight. It was not a left-handed thread, it was a right-handed thread, or a regular standard thread. So there's that. That looks really good, no cracks. Propellers look good, or impellers look good. That's nice. So I'm gonna have to take off my power valve assembly here. So there's something that I noticed is that this washer right here, this front washer actually goes on the back side. So just in case you're wondering, I did catch that going through some service manuals and things of that nature. I gotta go get my little needle nose here. These little needle nose are like the best. Once you get up underneath it, it works pretty good. Yeah. Make sure to hold on to that, gentlemen. We went through that on the build up. So this washer here belongs behind there, come to find out. And then this here is gonna pull out, well, once we get to that point. So I ran my bolts back in here. Y'all should already know all of them here. Made sure to try to keep my mark on there where I was at. So now we have to pull the cover off here. Same thing, man, 8 millimeters. As a matter of fact, I already broke this one loose. I was working on this one here. That one's loose. This one here, that one there. And if I'm not mistaken, guys, this thing was leaking from the gasket at the bottom, underneath on the crankcase. That was kind of another reason why I was like, man, I really need to get into seals, gasket kit. You know, make sure that the oil seal and bearing is good. I didn't feel real good about just getting rid of the bike the way it was. So that's why we kind of kept it. And now we're gonna do this work to it because I feel like it's the right thing to do, guys. I mean, I'm not out here trying to get people to buy bikes they gotta work on. You know, you're looking to buy a bike. I'm looking to sell you one that runs. And that runs well. You gotta remember where these bolts go. They're different sizes. I think that's all of them, gentlemen. So it's gonna be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 8 millimeters. And only 2 of them are different lengths. This one in here, and I wanna say it was one of these here. Let's see if we can get this off. A little bit of oil is gonna come. See what we got here. This General Persuasion is the best, one of the best tools I own. Take this fill cap out, get it out of the way. It doesn't smell like 2-cycle oil in there. We're caught on something. If you're gonna use the screwdriver method, be careful. Do not gouge up your aluminum, right? You wanna be gentle. There we go. There we go. We can pull this off. I mean, that clip right there has been, I mean, it's been in better shape. All right, so what you're not gonna do is leave your kickstart bolt in there because it's got that washer on there. So you got to pull that off. And there we are. You know, put this back in here. I don't know what is going on with that Kickstarter, but we're gonna have to figure it out. I'm looking at this seal right here. Yeah, gentlemen, that was definitely an issue. Those ain't too bad. So getting a better look at this bearing or this seal right here, look at this thing. It's definitely gone, man. It's definitely leaking. oil into the crankcase, and that's why it's smoking. So the gentleman that made the comment, man, you were spot on, buddy. And I'd have to say, I 100% agree with you. So we do have to pull the clutch basket off, which in return will let me get this off so I can look at what's going on with it and why it hangs up. And then we got to pull this off, and we should be ready to pull that sill out of there. Gonna pull this out. There's a washer behind it. Make sure that stays with it. See that washer? Make sure that stays with it and where it goes. I believe that's a 10, not an 8. It is. Oh, there's that. We'll clean that up. We'll remember that. Bearing feels good. It feels a little dirty now. You would never imagine why. So actually, guys, I don't know if I have to pull this inner clutch basket off or not. I might be able to just take this bolt out right here and slide the whole thing off in one unit. So, got caught up. So, I do have to pull these out and remove this before I can get anything else out. So, I definitely need to get my 10. Where is my 10? When you take these out, you do have your spring behind it, so don't let it just fly out. Long-winded jokers. This whole impact. What a joke, man. Y'all hear that? All right, we got to change it up. So I had to get a better impact.
I thought you was gonna leave that on.
No, I don't think I can. I was reading. I don't think I can. So. I just don't want to lose any springs.
No,
All right. Pull all of them out. That thing looks nice. Doesn't look too beat up. Springs. Here, 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 and here. So now that I'm looking, it does actually look like I could just pull this nut right off of here and not, because I don't really want to have to stack these clutch plates back or take them apart. You see what I mean, Dad?
Mm-hmm.
So,
Not good.
we're gonna give it a try, man. Oh, that was a fight. Ah, it's 3/8. There's that. And then you have a washer right here. Let's see if this whole thing will slide off. See? Perfect. That's how I wanted it to come off anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So we're gonna slide this all the way off, right? We have no washer here, but we do have a bearing and a guide, and I'm actually preferably gonna try to leave that right there. So this looks actually really good, I'm gonna be honest. It doesn't look real beat up. Uh-oh.
Look at.
Uh-oh, we got another bearing that came out. We gotta clean that up. That came out of here. That's our first one.
Oh yeah.
So that's a good thing we actually seen that. But yeah, I mean, there's no gouges in the side. You know how it wears the little grooves in there? So yeah, that looks pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
As a matter of fact, I'm just gonna slide all this back together so we can keep everything together. You gotta make sure them springs go down there like little cups. See how they make like little cups on there? You gotta make sure them springs line up in there, you'll bind them up. And we're just gonna put these in finger tight so they stay together. And at the same time, I can take my bearing and set it right back right there. Because I don't have any issues with the clutch. The clutch works good. Really, or should I say well. There's that, perfect. One more thing. This right here, make sure your washer stays on there. Go ahead and slide that back in there. We're gonna clean everything up a little bit before we put it back. Wipe this bad boy off real quick. Man, I'm glad that thing come out of there. I'd have never seen it. If I'd have never seen it, I'd have never re-oiled it.
Yeah, it's like a dual bearing in there.
Yes,
it's got
sir.
enough room for it.
True.
Washer.
I think instead of putting it with the basket, I'm gonna put it.
Spacer.
I'm gonna put it back on here. Those are actually pretty smooth. Perfect. We'll get a little two-stroke oil put on there.
Oh, it's clean.
So the only thing we really have left to do at this point, well, we're gonna take this out here in a minute. We need to take this off right here, and then we need to get that oil seal out of there, and that thing looks terrible. I'm gonna see if I can talk my dad into holding that camera a little closer for me. Another thing, these gears look good. I don't see any chipping.
Yeah, I was looking at the edge of it.
They look good.
Uh-huh.
The bearings look good. All the holders look like they're in place. That gear looks good, the kickstart gear. I mean, yeah, that actually looks pretty fantastic.
Nice and clean,
I don't like all that. That's like clutch material, or I'm not really
yeah.
sure.
I bet it is. Well, it's gonna come off there great.
All right, let's see if we can't get this bad boy off of there. Oh, ow, 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 ow. It's never good, man. It's never a fun time. It's never a fun time, man. Oh, I don't know if that's the smartest thing either. Okay, so with that, man, we had to get our 14. Don't let me get to telling you stories. The 12 and take off the stator side, right? And then we had to hold that. Now, here it is. So we have a washer. We have a gear, and then this right here, well, we're gonna get some like an abrasion pad. We're gonna clean that up a little bit. But the gear does look like it's in good shape. The Woodruff key looks perfect. We're gonna go ahead and pull that out so we don't drop it and lose it. Now look at this seal, guys. I mean,
This is.
I don't even know what to say about that. I don't. Look at that.
Yeah, I don't.
So
Where's the new one?
we're gonna, we're gonna pull out the new ones here in just a second, and we're gonna compare to what this is right here, because this does not look right.
Just for a seal.
Right. So we're gonna try to get this out this way. I mean, it already looks like it's about to come out. So be careful. Do not gouge up your surface. I mean, this thing is deteriorating.
Yeah, it's just poking out, man.
Wow.
Yeah, you want to get that hard side.
Where's that pick tool at? I just had it. Oh, I left it over here. I just don't want to get in there and gouge out this. I mean, I really just don't know what was going on with this.
Dude, that is
It's
something
like-
they put around it. Didn't I say that?
All right, guys. So, man,
There ain't no reason to put the numbers on the inside. The
Right.
numbers right there.
so we got it out, dude. I mean, look at this thing. It come out in 2 pieces. So I'm really glad that I got into getting this done. I'm trying to see here. It looks like the letters or the numbers on the seal are gonna face out. So I need to clean some of this up. We're gonna get this thing oiled up, tap back in there. All right, so the more I'm looking at this, there's some lettering. I mean, right there, right on the top. So I just want to make sure that we're all on the same page on which way your oil seal goes back in. Here you go, Dad.
Oh, you got it. That's what I was looking for.
Yeah, there's one little marking. It looks like that DC marking or something. So this is what we're gonna do here. I'm gonna wipe this off real quick. So I just have like some Scotch-Brite, right? Because I'm not looking to remove any metal. I just want to clean the surface, make sure it's really smooth, especially going into that new seal. Plus it looks like that black stuff's gonna come off of there, which that's kind of the main goal there. Looks like there might have been some water in here. That looks like pitting.
Yeah, I don't know why that was doing that on that seal.
And maybe that water pump seal was bad too. Yeah, that is pitting, guys. Right there.
The bike's been setting up.
Probably.
Moisture.
I don't think I'm gonna get it any cleaner than that, gentlemen. But we are gonna run it. So I gotta clean some of these parts up before we go back with it. I wanna clean them off with carb cleaner and everything else.
That's the way it's designed.
Get this wiped up real good, give y'all one more shot of that. I sure hope this doesn't become a problem. But do you see the pitting in it? So I don't believe it'll become a problem. We're definitely gonna find out. What you got there, Dad? What are we looking like, man?
Need to clean that surface.
Think some of this would
It's all
work?
oxidized. Should get up in there and get that just oxidized. Where the bike's set up.
You think that's what it is? Make think this bike's just been sitting?
Look at all the moisture. Look at all the oxidation around that seal. Yeah, this bike's set.
All right.
Got signs of it. There you go. Clean it up.
That definitely looks like a calcium buildup right there.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta get my air gun
This
out
is where
here.
just where it's sitting around, man. Bike set up, water gets everywhere. Motorcycle.
Motor crossing. We are motor.
You ain't riding it, it's running.
Yeah, I agree. So I don't have any assembly lube, so I went ahead and just got me some 4-stroke oil, some 10W40, lubed up this seal. Like I stated, the numbers on the seal face out. I lubed up my groove, cleaned it all up, blew it all out with compressed air. So let's see if we can't just push this seal in there. We're getting it around there. It's just taking its sweet time. I don't want to get it too off-centered in there. And we'll really have a good time, kind of like right now. And an 1¼ inch socket fits perfect. I mean, perfect. So where is my general persuasion? Right here. Right here. Let's finish getting this boy sat home.
Bottom end. You're crooked off the bottom end. Yeah, hit it like you live, brother. Live free and whatever you're saying.
Ride fast and live careless, baby.
There you go. Needs you a little bit of metal.
Yeah, I got one.
Yeah, needs you a little bit of metal.
That's what I was thinking. This old general
That seal.
persuasion is just flexing.
The old seal is getting tight up in there, man. I don't want to cuss or nothing.
You're not gonna tell me that it's going in there and sealing. That's why it's a tight fit. Yes, sir.
Like I said, that rubber got to roll up on that edge. Feel it moving?
Yes, sir. The gear. The oil seal is installed, man. So we're gonna go back with it now. I gotta get my Woodruff key. Where'd you go? Right here. We're gonna slide that bad boy back in there. Right there.
No 316.
Well, hold on. We're not gonna do that yet. First things first. We're gonna wipe this bad boy off. Get a little bit of air here. Get a little bit of, well, what I have is 4-stroke oil. Oh, well. Huh. It always works better without the lid on it. Get a little bit down in there, let that run around there. Slide this Woodruff key back in there. That thing moves nice and free. We're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna put a little bit of oil around this gear. Gear it up. A little bit on the inside. I mean, there's nothing wrong with a little bit of lube. Then you're just gonna line you see your keyway in here, right? Just gonna line that up with your Woodruff key. Make sure your key doesn't pop out. See how it tries to roll out? And voila. Washer. Put our washer back on there. And last but not least, well, let me clean this out real quick. So we got this cleaned up. All right, Dad, you are gonna, have to get to the other side. Break on through to the other side.
I believe I'm ready. Yep. Go for it.
Ready?
Yep.
All right, I'll have to get my torque wrench and torque that here a little later.
It's still tight.
Before we put that cover back on there. So we need to pull this O-ring out and replace it. Scrape the gasket off here. And then we can replace everything on this side pretty much. Boy, that seal looks nice, dude. We'll lube all this up. We'll get our clutches put back on there and together. I gotta take this out. We gotta look at that. We can't forget that. Okay, man, we got it all cleaned out. It was like material. It wasn't anything chunky. It wasn't anything you know, like metal shavings. So we have our seal in here good. I re-oiled everything because I sprayed it down with carburetor cleaner. So we're gonna pull this O-ring out and change it. And then we're almost to the point to button up this side. We can at least get the outer case off. And we still have to change this seal out. So we are getting there. Come on, Dad, struggle is real. Do you need a different, I have a different type of pick tool. And perfect. Let me see this.
Yeah, I want to clean that. It's gotta be one of those, dude.
That actually looks pretty good, my man. All right, so we got all this cleaned up. Looks good. I'm gonna wipe it down real good, but I wanted to run through this real quick. So we're gonna take our spring out here. Just like that, and then this should pop right out. So it has been hanging up, and I'm not sure why.
That'll do it.
But, I mean, everything looks good here.
What the heck?
So I don't know why it was binding up. Ah, it's spring.
Spring?
So, yeah, see? Well, that's a pretty tight spring, but it comes, it's for this.
Right, those it back
Yeah,
up.
I just ain't strong enough to spit. There it goes. See?
Is that one that washer's laying sideways?
I don't know. That's funny because that looks like how the clip is.
I know it.
I don't know if
That's
that's
what I'm looking
right.
at,
Let's
that
see.
angle there.
You know what, Dad? Look at that, buddy. Look at that, man. It's actually looks like it is trying to pop out of there. You see how that's not lined up with that groove? Look at this, look at this, guys. So if you look, if I can get this to press down, which I don't know if I'm gonna, this clip right here is not in where it's supposed to be.
Yeah, you got that right.
'Cause you can
how
see-
wide it is.
You can see right here that washer is crooked.
It looks binded up.
So we're gonna have to look at this here in a second. So I'm glad we took that out and got that figured out. Why was it? Because I knew that wasn't right. It wasn't supposed to hang up.
No.
And most of the time it's free. It just hangs up there at the top.
Your E-clip or your
So we got to pop that circlip or whatever it's called. Snap ring, there it is.
Come off.
Get that snap ring put back into place.
Oh yeah, hey,
We should be good to go.
The spring's getting up under the plate.
Oh, that's what it is.
Come on, baby. Come on.
makes sense.
Oh man, look at it,
Got
dude.
it?
Perfect. No. Yep.
All right, I got to get that dowel pin out, y'all. I had to pull the other one out too.
Yes, sir.
Over
Yeah.
here to get that one out and get it cleaned up.
Now look. Clippy spin. Washer spin.
There we go. Got it.
Washer flex.
Oh yeah, nice.
Clip.
Look at that. Show
clip,
right here.
Clip and groove now.
Yep. I
Yep,
bet that'll
that's
stop
pretty-
that hanging up problem.
That spring was getting up under that washer.
It
Now
was
you're-
catching in that groove.
It was pushing that clip out.
Yep, that'll do it.
Yeah, see your clip spins now. See?
Perfect. Something minor.
Yep.
Something that didn't cost anything to fix.
So-
All right, guys. I want to say, I believe that we are ready. Well, no, we're not. Let me strike that. We're striking a lot of things today on this. So we're gonna take the case into the shop, and I got to try to get some of them seals taken care of too. That go in there. I'm hoping that kit came with it. It was supposed to be complete engine, so I'm gonna wipe this off real good. So that gasket makers, I am gonna put gasket maker on here. Make sure that thing seals right. So we got the case in the shop. Luckily the gasket come off pretty much clean. Just this little bit here. The rest of that's like dirt, grit, and grime. You know, typical dirt bike stuff. We're gonna go over it once, make sure. So we will clean all this up. I'm not gonna just throw it back together like this, but I'm curious about, so this is our water pump gear right here. I mean, it doesn't look bad, but it's definitely got some wear on it. We're gonna clean that up a little bit. Look at that. So there's that bearing. I mean, that bearing's not bad at all. And then this here, not really sure, man. Just like so. I just want to check this and look at it. It looks good. Everything looks good in it. I just wanted to give it a check. I got to take this part off here. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Perfect. So slide it back in there like that. Just like that. So that's gonna stay there. That's good. We will clean this up. Let's flip this bad boy over. So what I want to get to is this seal right here. Look at that. So that's that, and that's the way it came out. And then it feels like there's another one here, which I think there is. So with that one, we're gonna try to get it from the back side here. This little flat blade. See if we can't give it a tappy and get it out. Let's see if it's even moving. Yeah, it like it moved a little bit. That's a good thing. All right, guys, so we're back, dude. It's actually a week later, man. A lot of things went down. So my camera died, and before my camera died, man, we started to knock this water seal in there. I have a socket that fits in there like perfect, right? So what happened is that I took a brand new seal and I hit it down in here. This seal right here, I knocked it down in there so far it binded up my bearing, right? So that's something you want to pay attention to, dude. This was a $27 seal. It is your water pump seal, part number 92049-1366. It is a Kawasaki part. So I had to order one. I had to get the other one out. I'm gonna go get it out of the shop and show y'all. And then we're gonna go through this again, but this time we're gonna be a lot more careful than we were last time. So I have the old seal here. I mean, it destroyed it getting it out. This was a brand new seal. It was the one I was putting in last weekend. And well, like I stated, I knocked it in too far. So we ordered another one and we're gonna get busy. We already did our crankshaft seal. I replaced it. We put the new O-ring and the new crank seal in the bike. We went over that. So this actually goes in. This will be your upside. You can tell the difference. It almost looks like it goes in upside down. Now, I do have my grease gun out here. We're gonna put a little grease on this. We're gonna see about tapping this bad boy home and getting the other seal in and getting ready to, well, it'll probably be tomorrow, but we're gonna put this thing back together. Got us a little bit of grease here. We're just gonna put a little bit of grease around the outside of this, kind of lube that seal up. Right, you don't want to get real carried away with it, but you do want it nice and slippery. And then when we get done, we need to put some, which will be down in here. As a matter of fact, we'll just go ahead and do that now. I need to get me a little screwdriver or something to I think that'll be all right. A little bit more for the inside the case. You want the case to be lubed up also. Like I said, it looks like it goes in upside down. Let's see. I mean, that went in nice, actually. So we're gonna do that for now. Now this is the tricky part. So one thing I didn't do last time that I should have done was for one, I should have had it on a solid surface, and I didn't have that going on. Two, I should have made sure as it slid down to check. Truthfully, that line on that socket is about what I need, which will also keep my bearing free. Once you get that tapped into place, like, so what I did was, since I don't have a seal installer, I just got me a copper washer, tapped it in there, and the whole time I checked, right? I didn't want my bearing to get bound up again and waste another O-ring. So with that, and now that we're past that, so with this seal kit, right, you have different seals. Well, them big ones are for the other side of the crank. So what you have to do is you have to match them up, because this one looks good but it doesn't fit in there. This one looks good and that's the right one. See, it goes in there like so, right? And then you have this one, which is the same size as this, but the hole's too big. So you have to pay attention to that before you go with it. And then this one also goes in, it looks like it's upside down. The flat goes down and the groove part goes up. So we're gonna grease it just like we did the last one, or should I say the last one that we had to replace again. And then we're gonna throw a little bit on here. And we're gonna get some on the inside of it. Right, I smeared some in there. I took my little screwdriver and kind of got me some grease down in there. So, like I stated, upside down is the way it looks. And that one pretty much pushes in there. Just make sure it's nice and flat. If you have to, get your washer. As a matter of fact, with that, for me, I'll just get a bigger washer and make sure it's sitting down in there as flat as it can be. And then that'll be that, gentlemen. So now we got our water pump shaft and gear, and then we have our impeller. One thing you need to know is it has a washer on the back, which also plays as a spacer for that right there. So you want that to be on there. And as a matter of fact, we might actually take that off and clean that up just a bit. Yep, it comes off of there. But I want to slide this through and then put that on so it'll hold it into place, and it's one less thing I have to worry about. or do come tomorrow, because I still have to repack the silencer. I mean, we still got quite a bit to do to get this thing, well, ready to ride. We're gonna put a little bit down inside there, might as well. So here we go. Now this, you just wanna be careful. You don't wanna pop your springs off of there, right? So just go through easy. And voila. Give it a few spins, let that grease get on them seals. You want them seals to be greased up. I mean, you definitely don't want to give it a good fire with dry seals. All right, so I went ahead and cleaned this up a little bit. It had a lot of gunk on it. It still got a little bit on it. I didn't want to risk removing too much material, and I went ahead and cleaned that up also. So we're gonna go ahead and stick this bolt back through here. Now, one thing I do want to do is, you can see the line right here that was actually riding on that seal. So I'm going to put that back out the same way. Oreo. Hey, buddy. Hey, buddy. And that just needs to be torqued down. Spins good. Perfect. That is perfect. So we're gonna drop back in pond for now. Dude, I pulled this boot off. That thing is caked with grease and oil and grime. So I was looking at this here. The seal doesn't look too terribly bad, but it came with a new one, so we're gonna go ahead and replace it. I am hoping I can get it out of there without having to take that shaft out. We might get lucky. I gotta get a pick tool. So this bolt here is a 10. It's a 10 milli for your, I guess you'd say your power valve arm. I'm gonna be honest with you. It looks like that thing has been sheared off. Just to be honest with you. And it also looks a little bent. You see that? It's got me curious. So let's see if we can't get this seal out with this pick tool. We just want to try to jab it in there. Right? And go gentle. I'm trying to keep it off the metal and on the rubber. These seals are very hard packed. All right, if you work at it a while, I had this pick tool and this, as you've seen, you can get it out. I know exactly what seal that is, and it goes flat side out. So it actually goes in like it looks like it should go in. So I don't really, that looks about like that. Yeah, I gotta clean that up. So we got that cleaned up, got that seal out of there. We matched it up. So here's the old one right here, and here's the new one. They match up perfectly, and it goes in flat side. You see how that goes concaved? Flat side out. We're gonna get us a little bit of grease here. So we're gonna do two things. One, we're gonna put it on the seal. Right, we want plenty of grease all the way around. And then we're gonna put some on the shaft. So what I wanna do with that is just get a little bit there, right? Smear it in there like so. And then take my flat blade. Get a little bit around there. The seal has plenty of grease on it. We need a dab more for the inside. Whoop, that was more than a dab. I guess we'll do that shaft and then we'll just cram some in there like that. All right. We'll slide it on there gently. And then what I have is a 10mm deep socket, which goes right over it. So it should just slide in pretty well. Just like so. See, it goes in pretty well, but seeing as this has an actual little, what I would call a cubby hole for that thing to fit, I want it to bottom out in there. There is no bearing. You know what I mean? So it doesn't have nothing that could really bind up on. And when I say a while, I mean a while. Look at that. I need something to wipe that on, man. That is bad. But wait, there's more. More. I mean, just globs of it. So I'm gonna clean this out real well. We're gonna slide it back on. And then we're gonna put that piece back in. We'll probably call it a night and finish this video tomorrow. So we got that old Permatex on the crankcase. Got the gasket stuck to it. We're gonna take our carb cleaner, man. We're gonna clean this surface right here. If you've seen, I had a little bit of oil running out of there. I had to drop back and re-clean. That RTV didn't want to stick to it. So we want to wipe this off good. We're gonna give it just a second to dry. I have to go get my governor for in here. And then we're gonna RTV this up and get it on the bike. All right, man, so we got, give me a second, Dad. Okay. So we got it all RTV'd up, man. We're gonna slide this bad boy on here real quick. Try not to make a mess, try not to tear up any new seals. So we got it all bolted up. We're gonna go ahead, we're gonna put this on. Right, we're not gonna bolt it up, we're just gonna slide it together. We wanna make sure everything works. That works perfect, look at that. All right, and another thing, so I can look up in here and see my governor right in here. Let's see if I can get you close enough. You can see that gear hitting also. It's kind of hard and I don't have my light out here right now. But I got to get my torque specs and torque these out, down, and then we got to RTV our water pump gasket. We got to torque down our propeller and our clutch plates because we just got them run in right now. And then we'll be ready to well, RTV this up and get that on there too. So onto the outside cover. So this here just slides out, right? Be careful your needle bearings don't fall out right here. And then there's that seal which was leaking, which also comes with the complete engine gasket and oil seal kit. So all I'm gonna do, clutch piece, clutch bearing, make sure your washer stays on it, because I just want to get right up underneath it just a little bit and poke a hole in my finger. Well, I mean, after you stab your finger with the screwdriver, it comes out fairly easy. So what I'm gonna do, ain't too bad, is that I want to clean this out really well. So I'm actually glad the kit came with one, man, because this seal was leaking, right? Wipe my finger off again. And I don't have my grease out here today. So we're just gonna use a little bit of oil here. Just a little bit. Right, and this seal come out which would look regular. The indention or concave side goes in or down, and the flat side will go to the top. And then just push it in there. I mean, just like that, gentlemen. And it's as simple as that, it's in there. So now I'm just gonna grease this back up, right? Or I'm just gonna put some oil on it. Put a little oil in here, right? Put a little oil on my shaft here. I cleaned it all up, at least wiped it down good. And then we're gonna go back home with it. So I got my favorite brass paint scraper, which I believe is amazing for gasket scraping on aluminum surfaces. And the higher up you hold it, the more you'll get underneath it. See that? Get it right off of there, man. Go over that whole thing, make sure we have a nice smooth surface, that anything that could be on there that's raised up comes off. Perfect. So we will get some more carburetor cleaner here. Clean off our surface, and voila. So we will put the gasket maker and the gasket on here first, and then we'll put the other side on. We'll put gasket maker on the cover and then slide it on there. So let's get into it. All right, man, got it all buttoned up. So I was looking at this, I finally realized how that's gonna come all the way around, man, to right there, like that. Right, that's how that goes right there. So that spring was hooked around here on the wrong side when it should have been hooked right there, or even, yeah, probably right there in that little spot right there. So now that that's in the right spot, get that thing set back down in there. Hang on. There we go. So boom, that's like that. That helps spring that clutch. I mean, that's that. We got a good squeeze on our RTV everywhere. We got a little bit of cleanup to do here. But I mean, this is all we really got left. Torque down the clutch plates, torque down the water pump impeller. Yes, sir, we are chipping away at it still. It's a couple hours later, guys. Man, we have been out here chipping away on it, dude. So we replaced the gasket here, right? Because I had to take that off. I needed to get to that. Plus I needed to clean some things up. Now, we RTV and gasketed this. We have the clutch going. I think I'm gonna have to get a new clutch cable. That'll be neither here nor there. So we RTV'd our water pump gasket. We took our outlet off, replaced that gasket, RTV. We replaced our gasket for our power valve cover. We got our arm back on there. Everything is set. The clutch works, so that's a bonus. Now, what I do have left is I have to put the pipe on, clean my hoses up and reattach them, and then well, we're gonna see if these are leaking. Now that I got everything else sealed up, if these are leaking, then we'll pull them out and change them. If not, when I sell the bike, the seals will go with it, so if somebody wants to get into it, they can. But we are chipping away at it, man. We are trying our best to get this thing done. I've already been out here about 4 hours, so we're gonna keep moving forward. We got a few more things to do, and then hopefully it'll be time to fire this bad boy up. All right, man, so we pretty much got the bike wrapped up. It's back in the house, getting late in the evening. But I wanted to jump into getting this silencer packed, or repacked, should I say. So it's gonna be for this silencer, which I'm really not 100% sure what silencer this is. It almost looks like an FMF. I'm not 100%, but it is a 4mm Allen. So let's see how difficult this is gonna be to slide apart. I mean, it's probably gonna be full of oil. We all seen the crank seal. There's only 3 of them. They all look pretty rough. And I got my gloves on. I put me on some latex gloves. I'm pretty sure this is gonna be messy. So let's see how bad this is. Kind of break that thing free there. See if we can't get this bad boy off of here. There we go. There we go. Well. Perfect. Now we get to see what's inside. Oh, wow. That didn't really work out the way I wanted it to. But now we got to get all that out of there. That thing is so, look at that. So let me grab a long screwdriver, see if we can't break this loose and slide it all out in one unit. So we got it all out, man. It took a little bit of work. It wasn't too bad. So it didn't look too terribly bad. That was really bad right there, which was the very outside layer. So we are gonna try to clean this out some, see how much of this excess debris we can get out of here, man, and then we're gonna wrap it and see how good we are at repacking silencers. So we got her all cleaned up. She didn't turn out half bad. Got us a brush, got down in there, got the inside nice and clean. So we have our Tusk silencer packing kit here, which is just a roll of the, I guess you would say, fiberglass. So let's get into getting this going. Now, from what I know and what I've seen, we want this, right, to be measured with your packing. So that'd be about the end of your cap. So we need to cut off, it looks like about 3 inches. Because you want it to wrap around here and slide into here, right? Now let me mark this and then we'll cut it. I have some scissors out here. We'll cut it and wrap it and see how easy it is to slide back in there. So I have it a little bit. I'm gonna put it right at the end right there. And then I'm gonna mark, I would say, a 1/4 inch out, right? And I want that 1/4 inch so when it goes up in here, it packs in there nice, man. I got that cleaned out real nice, so we might as well get it going and do it right, correct? Correct. All right, so it was a fight, man. I had to trim off quite the bit, actually. That stuff's pretty thick. But we're almost home now. So the most difficult part is gonna be getting it, making sure everything's good in here, right? And we got to get it to slide all the way together, which could be a chore, depending on what we got going on. All right, guys, so it's late, so we're not gonna be able to fire it up today. But we got it together, we got it in there, we got it repacked, we got it cleaned up. So tomorrow we'll get out here, man, we'll put a little coolant in there and we'll fire this bad boy up. Well, we got it all together, y'all. It took a little bit of time, but we did get it together. We had a little hiccup, got that taken care of. We got the silencer repacked, right? That's a good thing. So I have my exhaust hangers here, but the pipe is bent, right? So the hangers are actually bent and they won't work at the moment. So I'm gonna have to work on that. Now, what we need to do is put some coolant in there, and then the oil level's good, and give this thing a fire, man, to see where we're at with it. Hopefully we don't have any leaks, so let's jump into that now. So let's get some coolant in this thing. And, well, I'm probably gonna slide the seat on here before we give it the first fire. One, we can cover the air filter up the way it's supposed to be. And two, it'll be a little more comfy for me. So let's see, we got everything tied in. Let's see if we have any leaks. So far, so good. Well, so far so good. Perfect. All right, so we just slid the seat on there. Everything else should be good. Fuel on. Choke kinda on. We know how that goes. Let's see what it's got. Well, it's definitely not spitting oil out like it was. It was spitting a bunch of oil out of this coupling right here. All this was leaking real bad. So, I'm sure there's still some oil that needs to burn off that's in the pipe itself. We did repack the silencer, so that should be good. So let's see what kind of fuel we got. I know we're running a 40-to-1 in here right now versus a 32-to-1. We might have a little bit of gas. We can take it for a rip up and down the road. There it is, guys. The thing rips, man. I believe we got the excessive oil burning situation taken care of, man. It seemed like it wasn't blowing out a lot of oil. There's a little bit in here, but it's gonna be right. And then it was leaking out of here profusely, and now it's not, so that's a good thing. So I believe that problem is fixed, but on to the next, right? So if you noticed in the first of the video, I come out of the ditch. Well, what it was is that the clutch, let me show you. See how that's acting funny, man. That's not right. So I have to take this clutch cover back off, which is kind of a bummer. I just sealed it up all nice and tight. So I got to take this cover back off and see what's going on in there and possibly get a new cable, because this doesn't seem right to me. I believe this shoulder should go up against here, so on and so forth. But with all of that, dude, the oil's good, the water's good, we have no leaks. I think I saw that petcock leaking a little bit. I'm not really 100%. But if it does start leaking, you know, we'll jump into it. So the first ride after the seal change was a success. So until the next time, guys, we'll get into some more stuff. We have a couple of more things to do on this KX before I can get rid of it, and that ought to be fun. So I'm your boy, Ride Fast and Live Careless. Like, subscribe, leave me a comment, and I will catch y'all on the flip side, man.